If you're a parent, you know this feeling all too well. You've done everything right. The perfect wind-down routine, the blackout curtains, the white noise, only to have the whole thing completely fall apart because of one tiny little emerging tooth. It can feel absolutely relentless, but today, we're going to look way beyond just the surface pain and uncover the hidden biological reasons why teething really wreaks so much havoc on sleep.
I mean, this just hits home, doesn't it? In an age where we try to optimize everything, especially our kids' sleep, teething feels like this massive system crash that we just can't control. It's incredibly frustrating.
And with that, welcome to Sleepopedia. We're a little corner of the internet dedicated to the real science of sleep. We truly believe that understanding the why behind our sleep struggles is the absolute key to finding a better how. So let's build a whole new playbook, one based entirely on the biology of what's actually happening inside your child's body when a tooth decides to make its appearance. So here it is. This is the big question we need to ask ourselves. We tend to focus on the most obvious thing, a sore gum, and we completely miss the bigger picture. The reality is that discomfort in their mouth, it is just the tip of the iceberg. So here's the most crucial thing to wrap your head around. Teething isn't just a simple dental issue. Not at all. It's a systemic, full-body event that pulls in the immune system, the nervous system, and even the digestive system. Once we understand what's going on in these three areas, we can finally start to address the real root causes of those sleepless nights. All right, let's dive into the first and honestly, the most powerful sleep disruptor, inflammation. This is the main reason your child's sleep suddenly becomes so choppy and, fragmented. Okay, this is where it gets really fascinating. When a tooth starts to erupt, the body kicks off this big immune response, and it releases these molecules called pro-inflammatory cytokines. Now, the key thing to know is that these are the exact same molecules your body releases when you have the flu. Just think about how you feel when you're sick, achy, restless, you can't get comfortable, right? That is what these cytokines are creating for your child, a low-grade, full-body state of agitation. And look, this isn't just some theory we're throwing around. Scientific studies have actually identified these specific inflammatory markers, things like interleukin-1beta and TNF-alpha, spiking in the saliva of teething babies. So this gives us concrete proof that there's a real, measurable immune event going on. So what does all this inflammation actually do to their sleep? Well, a normal sleep cycle is kind of like a smooth handshake, moving from deep sleep into lighter dream sleep. But those cytokines, they create so much background noise and excitability that instead of a smooth transition, your child's brain just overshoots it, and they just pop awake. This is the biological reason for those maddening 45-minute wake-ups, right at the end of a sleep cycle. So how in the world do we fight this? We can't just stop the cytokines, but we can help the body counterbalance them with something called sensory grounding. By applying a firm, slow-pressure massage to their arms and legs, you stimulate the vagus nerve. You can think of this nerve as a manual brake on the immune system, telling it, hey, calm down, reduce the production of those inflammatory molecules. It's a fantastic biological hack to help their brains stay in a deeper state of sleep. Let's move on to our second problem. This one explains those sudden, absolutely terrifying screams in the middle of the night. You know the ones. This isn't just a fussy wake-up. This is a full-blown panic. So what's happening here is often something called the Trigeminocardiac Reflex. At night, when growth hormone is pulsing, a molar can shift and press on this massive nerve in the jaw called the trigeminal nerve. This triggers a reflexive drop in their heart rate, which is immediately followed by a huge surge of adrenaline. So to your child, it feels like a sudden internal shock.
and it launches them from a deep sleep straight into a state of pure panic. Now, our first instinct is to try and soothe them while they're lying down in the crib, right? But this is actually a mistake. Lying flat can increase intracranial pressure, which can make the pressure on that nerve even worse. The real solution is vertical soothing. You got to pick them up and hold them upright against your body. This simple change in position helps relieve that pressure and starts the calming process almost immediately. And hey, here's a little pro tip to add on to that. While you're holding them vertically, try humming a low-pitched note right against their back or neck. The vibration is another really powerful way to stimulate that vagus nerve. You know, the manual brake we talked about. It can calm their racing heart much, much more effectively than just rocking can. So we've covered inflammation and we've covered nerve reflexes. But there's a third, super sneaky culprit behind those really early morning wake-ups. A secret tummy ache. This one is just wild. It turns out that all that drool during teething isn't just normal saliva. It's actually chemically different. It's more alkaline, and it's absolutely loaded with enzymes that are designed to help break down gum tissue. So it's basically pre-digestive fluid. And when your child swallows massive quantities of this stuff, especially overnight on a totally empty stomach, it can wreak havoc on their gut. It messes with the natural pH balance, it can cause things like silent reflux, and even that infamous teething diarrhea. This is the classic reason for those inconsolable wake-ups between 3 and 5 a.m., which is when the digestive system is most active. The solution here is, well, it's wonderfully simple. We just need to give that alkaline saliva something else to work on besides their delicate stomach lining. You can do this by providing what we'll call a starchy buffer about an hour and a half before bedtime. And it really doesn't need to be complicated at all. A small piece of whole grain toast or even just a simple unsweetened oat cracker is perfect. This acts like a little sponge, soaking up all that excess alkaline saliva and protecting their gut from irritation all night long. So, now we have our 3 key strategies, one for inflammation, one for nerve panic, and one for gut health. But there's one foundational element that makes every single one of them more effective. This is the master strategy in your teething playbook. This single strategy helps the brain power through all the discomfort signals we've just talked about. You can think of it as nature's own pain reliever, and it's called sleep pressure. So, scientifically, it's known as adenosine, and it builds up in the brain the longer we're awake and active. The magic happens when that sleep pressure gets high enough to act like a biological heavy blanket. It makes the drive to sleep so incredibly strong that the brain can actually override the pain signals coming from the jaw and the rest of the body. So let's recap our complete toolkit. We've got sensory grounding to fight that inflammation. We have vertical soothing to calm that scary panic reflex. We have a starchy buffer to protect their gut. And we build high sleep pressure to help their brain override all of it. You see, by looking past the obvious pain and addressing the underlying biology, you're not just surviving teething. You are actively supporting your child's entire system through a really challenging developmental marathon. You're giving them what they truly need to find rest. And now, you have the playbook to help them win.